Good morning, Texoma, and thanks for joining us this morning. We are taking an inside look at the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. It is that time, and we are so excited here at News Channel 6. Joining me now with the very latest is Joe Cullen. He is the immediate past president of the Wichita Falls Founder Lions Club. Now, the Founder Lions Club is the one who puts this on.
Yes.
Just in case anyone is not aware, this is how it all happens.
Yes, we work all year for this one event, and it's well worthwhile for everybody in the community, and everything we make we give back to the local charities, and so plus our scholarships too. You know, we just try to get out there and help everybody we can with the money that we make on this fair.
I love it because it is a big fair. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of kick it off, whenever you first walk in, and again, this all starts this Tuesday, September the 17th. News Channel 6, we're going to be live out there for coverage.
Good.
So make sure you're watching, and then make sure you come out there and say hello to us. When you first walk in, though, you're going to be walking into vendors, correct? Lots of booths.
Oh, lots of vendors. So far, we have at least 75 signed up.
Wow.
And we're shooting for 100. And this will be a new record. We can get that number in there. And we're very excited. Joe Tom White has been lining up vendors for a long time, and he's very excited about the number this year. And we're also very excited about our opening, which will occur at 6 o'clock on the 17th. We're going to have dignitaries from the Air Base, from the local politicians, and local people come out, and of course those people, the gold coats that cut the ribbon and bring the ribbons. But the Hershey High School Band is going to come marching in, and they're going to play us a couple of numbers and then play the Star Spangled Banner for us. And they're so excited, and we're excited about having them come in and be a part of the fair this year. And then after the ribbon cutting, and we dedicate the fair this year to a fellow lion that passed away, Ken Pearson. And also we're dedicating it to the 366 group out of Sheppard Air Base, because every year they help us tremendously with the fair, and we couldn't put it on without the 366. And just say a word about Ken. Ken headed up the food that we volunteers get to eat in the back room. And we're sorely going to miss Ken this year. He was a wonderful guy. But we're trying to fill in and fill his big shoes.
Yeah.
But that opening is going to be something.
It really is. And again, that's all Tuesday. It's at the MPEC in Wichita Falls. So people, I mean, you will not miss it when you pull up down there, in case you're not sure where to go.
Oh, no.
It's right there.
Right there by all the flags. Right?
Yes. There is the entertainment, as you mentioned. There's going to be a stage. Is there a stage inside and outside this year?
Oh, yeah. Our main stage this year is really, I think we're pretty packed with entertainment right now. Diane Pearson has done just a wonderful job of lining up entertainers from previous years and new ones for this year. And also one thing we're doing on Saturday afternoon, we're going to do the Red Door is working with on this, and it's going to be American Idol for senior citizens. And they've had a good results of this over at the Red Door, so they're going to bring it out to the MPEC and be a part of the Texas-Oklahoma Fair.
I love it.
And that'll be 2 to 5, and it'll be the senior citizens singing their hearts out. And I've heard some of them, and boy, they are good. Also on the outside stage, we may have what they call mind surfing. That's what they call it. They'll hold up a dollar bill, and the lady in the act will say, okay, guess the serial number, and the guy will guess the serial number on this dollar bill.
Oh.
So, I mean, they must get in your mind and maybe even hypnotize you. I don't know what else. Well, we're excited about them this year, too.
There's lots of great food out there, too.
Oh, my gosh. Turkey legs, and, of course, the roasted ears, you know, and cotton candy, just everything. Plus the cakewalk. Now,
don't forget about that. Yes.
If you want to win a cake, go over. Mike Andell's daughters are going to head this up this year, and boy, they're energetic and dynamic. And so the cakewalk is going to have a special theme, and I'm not going to let it out of the bag. You're going to have to come and see what kind of special theme these kids have cooked up this year for the cakewalk. But just a lot of exciting events. All that on the outdoor stage or within a pan is going to be the Bear Act. We're going to have bears, and this is going to be educational as well as show off live bears. And they have them in a pen, so don't worry. Then they're going to restrain people so they can't get too close to the bears. But they're going to give you the history of how they take these bears, and maybe they're orphan bears, and they raise them in captivity. But they're also going to have the bears there on display for you. Plus the petting zoo. We got a petting zoo every year, and also Oh, it's the pony rides too. I remember.
Wow.
Remember seeing that, and they're back this year to do the pony rides too.
That sounds awesome. There's so much to do. I mean, really something for everyone. You know, if maybe you don't like the rides, or maybe you love the rides and you don't, maybe want to do some of the other things. There is literally something for everyone to do, I think, is coming out there. Talking a little bit about the price of all of this. When you walk in the door, and I know different nights you always have something kind of special for different people.
Yeah, our cost this year is $7 for adults, $2 for kids, and check with your kids that are coming home from school, because we hand out thousands and thousands of free tickets for the kids that are within their schools under 12 years of age, and so they can get in free by bringing that ticket. But then the adults got to come with them.
Yeah.
So anyway, they get charged $7, and there's just going to be a tremendous amount of young people's entertainment. Home Depot is going to be out there. We got a group called Blast for the young kids. Fishing tank. We're going to have the fishing tank. Last year, fish died actually, but they've assured them that this year the fish are going to be alive, and so we're going to have the fish tank out there. And just a lot of things for the young kids plus the adults. And then, of course, you can head out on the Midway and ride the rides. And the first 3 nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, are going to be the $15 armband night. And you can ride all the rides you want for $15. And Tuesday night, the opening night, is also military night. So all military and their families get in free.
That's awesome.
And this is our gesture, is how much we respect the military in the community.
Going back real quickly to the bears and the fish and all the other stuff, are those things free? Does that include your cost of getting in?
Oh yeah, that's anything that's extra is like your rides and your food. That would be the extra cost. But when you get in there, pay your entry fee. Then you got all of these exhibits. You've got everything that's going on the Midway of the stage. All of this is free for your entertainment throughout the night. And it's open, of course, 6 to 10. And then on Saturday, we're open at 1 o'clock until 10 o'clock at night. So you got plenty of time to enjoy everything.
And check out all those vendors, as you mentioned, because there's lots of different booths. Like I mentioned, News Channel 6 is going to have a booth, so we want you to come by and say hello. There's also going to be a lot of things taking place at a livestock exhibit taking place every night out there. It's all free, too.
Oh, yeah, it's free. Yeah.
And you actually mentioned the cakewalk, and you mentioned a man named Mike Yandell, and we're going to hear from him right after the break about all those livestock events, and it is a schedule that is just amazing.
Amazing what Mike has done.
It's so neat to see how it's grown. So don't go anywhere, Texoma. We're going to talk a lot more about that and more about the Texas-Oklahoma Fair and what else you need to check out after the break. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are taking an inside look at the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. And we told you a little bit about the fair side of this, but you know what? It does not end with just all those awesome vendors, the rides, the great food that's going to be out there. There is even more, if you can believe it. A lot of livestock events taking place. And joining me now with the very latest is Mike Yandell. He is the livestock superintendent for the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. And there are so many neat events, Mike, coming up that you're going to share with everyone today, and they're free as well. So listen up, Texoma, because a lot of good things for the kiddos to come out to.
Yeah, we're going to have a full week of livestock events with sheep and cattle and goats and dairy goats and horses and pretty girls chasing barrels and lots of things like that.
And it all kicks off Tuesday, right?
It all kicks off Tuesday with Dorper Show. That's a breed of sheep from South Africa that Sarah Fung is the superintendent for that show, and she's brought a set of Dorpers together and Warren Cood from Fort Stockton to judge that show, and he's also going to do an informational seminar after the show's over. So anybody thinking about wanting to raise a Dorper or put one in their backyard, he's the guy to talk to.
This is the show you want to come to.
Right.
Now, whenever you're talking about a Dorper, in case people just aren't really familiar, what is special about them? What sets them apart?
Well, they were bred in South Africa between a cross between, I believe, a Peruvian goat and some kind of sheep, which makes them, their wool, don't really have to shear them every year, so they have more like a hair, but it produces a better quality meat.
Oh.
And they've imported these things. A few years ago, Sarah was telling me that they brought them in as embryos, and then started raising them, and she started raising them, and it's really grown. And I mean, they even have shows at the bigger stock shows now for them and stuff
Wow.
for the 4-H and FFA kids and the open adults.
And this is new to the Texas Oklahoma Fair this year, correct?
This year, brand new Dorper show.
And if people want to come out for the informational part, what time is that going to be taking place?
Well, they'll start show, the Dorpers will be in the barn all day if somebody wants to come look at them on Tuesday. And then at 4 p.m. they'll have the check-in, and then at 6 they'll do the show. And then right as the conclusion of the show, Judge Warren Cood will bring some animals back out, and then that's when he'll do his seminar.
So that evening is a great time. You know, if you're going to be out at the fair, maybe you ride a few rides and swing over there and check out the show. And this is what you're going to be seeing at the show, though, as you mentioned, is a lot of students, the 4-H kids and the FFA kids as well, showing off theirs.
Yes, showing off their projects for the year and the ones that this is kind of a preview show, too. We get out here at this show, and we have lots of kids coming all over the state to show these. We even have a group coming from Williamson County down around Round Rock.
Wow.
And this is how they kind of get out there and see what they've got, and then when they go to the bigger shows in Dallas and Fort Worth and stuff, they're ready.
That's awesome. And then Wednesday, again, something new. What's taking place Wednesday?
We're going to have the barrel racers. We're going to have pretty girls on horses chasing around barrels. They're going to start that afternoon, probably about 3 o'clock, bringing in the horses and getting dressed up and getting the barrel set and everything. And then they're going to do an exhibition about 4 o'clock, just kind of showing how it works and everything. And then 7 o'clock, they're going to gear up and get after it and chase some barrels and see who's going to win the pot.
And what are they going for here?
Money.
Money.
Money and ribbons and buckles.
And about how many different competitions do you think there are? Because, again, this is all age groups, right?
Yes, there'll be the youth group and the barrel racers, and then all the way up to the adults. It's Tober that puts this on, and it's the Texas Oklahoma Barrel Racers Association. Mm-hmm. So it's a competitive association that gathers up and they get after it.
All right, pretty cool. It's coming right here, Texoma. Again, something else. This is really interesting too. I remember talking about this last year. Is if you love dogs, this is where you can kind of watch them in action too, correct? Right. That's all taking place Wednesday.
Yeah, this is the second year for them. This is the Red River Cattle Trials, cattle dog trials, and Langen Reagan, the county agent over at Vernon, heads this one up, and they bring in their border collies and Australian sheepdogs and everything, and then we'll put probably 75 head of cattle back there in the back, and we'll bring a set of them up, and these dogs will pin them and herd them and sort them, and just like you've seen the cowboys on the horses sorting cattle, these guys do it with dogs, and they do it by command.
Wow.
And they have to do it with agility and time and all that, and the handlers don't move, and the dogs do all the work.
Wow, that's awesome. It's going to make you want to go home and train your dog if you have a dog, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, and I imagine there's a few guys down there that'll train for you.
Oh, that would be even better.
That's right.
There you go. Now, on Friday, Dairy Goats, we're talking about all of this other stuff. Again, new things every night is something different.
Yeah. Well, Friday we're going to kind of regroup a little bit. Don't have a whole lot going on other than we're going to have such a big show Saturday. It's going to take nearly all day Friday to get everybody moved in. So we're going to have a lot of animals over there and lots of people to visit with and stuff. We've got the dairy goats moving in. We've got the market goats, the market sheep moving in, all the kids, all the families moving in. And then we're going to have the cattle kind of start stringing in because we've got them coming in from all over the state and all over Oklahoma. Saturday, you better rest up Friday because it's going to start at 6 a.m.
Wow.
And we'll have checking in on all the sheep and goats and dairy goats. And then we'll start those off about 8 o'clock showing. And then right on the middle of all that, we're going to have probably 50 to 60 horses because we got the Tabasha Horse Show.
Wow.
And they'll have their Western events and their English riding events and their showmanships. And it's all the same thing. It'll be the juniors and seniors and adult divisions on all of that.
And then the cattle, though, this is what I find really interesting.
Yeah, then we're going to clear it all out. And then about 5 o'clock and then about 7 o'clock, we're going to bring in about 150 heifers, and we're going to have a heifer show starting about that time until about midnight. So
what takes place during a heifer show if somebody's never been? What do you do?
We sort them out there in a 16-breed format. We have 2 judges for our shows, 1 points and 1 prizes and money. Then we also have, this year is a first, is the Texas Club Calf Association, one of their 6 showmanship shows for the state of Texas. And then also during that, we'll also have the kids that aren't TCCA members can also go to a money ring for showmanship, and it's $5 a head, winner take all.
Wow.
So we'll start that, and this show this year, we started this is in memory of Colton Bentley. He was a young man that was killed about 2 weeks before last year's show, and he's a young man that epitomized the cattle industry and the way that youth are. And he was actually working for a family when he got killed in a freak accident. And we've dedicated this show to him, and we're gathering up money, and part of the money of that we'll start awarding scholarships every year now for him in his honor.
That's awesome. Just a way to keep his memory alive.
Yes.
And again, it's the Colton Bentley Memorial. And I really want to show off these belt buckles because these are going to be prizes this year, correct?
And then whoever wins this buckle also gets a $1,000 check.
Wow. Well, you're going to be walking away with two awesome things because I tell you what, this buckle is just, first of all, it's beautiful. And it says on there his name. And, just kind of, again, kicking this off this year to remember Colton and everything that he did. And I love the scholarship aspect, too. So this first one, though, is going to be raising the money for those scholarships, right?
Yes.
Or do y'all have a goal that you're shooting for?
Well, we're going to try to start with $500 scholarships, maybe a couple of them this year, and see how it goes. And then if it goes well, we'll increase that. And I'd love to give all the money we can away. Yeah. So, and then also being a TCACA sanctioned show, we also pay back nearly the majority of the money that we take in on entries also. So.
Well, Mike, I know if it's anything like the way it's grown in the last 4 years, this is going to be huge because you said, I think 20 cattle, you were in that number 4 years ago, and now it's over 100.
Right.
That is impressive, Texoma. So this is something that's growing. It's right here in your community. It's free. I mean, I don't even know where you could go get all this entertainment for free.
Yeah. Well, it'll be entertaining, watching a kid get his lamb loose. We have to chase it through the barn, or, one of the calves slips a halter and it wants to go dancing through the stands, and then not only for getting after the heifer show, we'll finish that up around midnight. Then Sunday morning we'll start off again about 7 o'clock, and we're going to do about 150 steers all Sunday afternoon, even after the fair's over. They were packed up and kind of resting and everything, but we're going to keep motoring on, and we're going to show steers until probably that afternoon and award this other buckle and another $1,000 to that champion.
Wow. Mike, I think you're going to have to sleep all day Monday because it sounds like you're not going to get any sleep this week.
I told him to call me for a month after the show.
No kidding. Well, we really appreciate, you taking time to explain all of this. One of the neat things that I also want to point out is that he said this is something that's so educational for your children. So bring them out there, a lot of hands-on things, a lot of cheering them on, and just learning a lot at these events as well. So educational and fun to watch all at the same time. Well, again, thank you so much, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to it. A lot going on. Well, stick around, Texoma. We are not done talking about the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we're taking an inside look into the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. It all kicks off on Tuesday. Joining me now once again is Mr. Joe Cullen. He is the immediate past president of the Wichita Falls Founder Lions Club. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ashley, for allowing us to come on your program and present this very exciting venture that we do every year.
Absolutely. And it is exciting. And I know we've covered a lot, but there's even more. We have this beautiful display here of all of these different types of art, and this is a contest in of itself, correct?
Yes, yeah. Joanne Sermon normally would be here and explain this, and I'm kind of sitting in for her, so I'll do the best I can. But she gets so excited about this, and why not? Because people get to bring their goods and their items into the creative arts and home skills area of the fair, and it's a set-aside part of the fair. We have curtains up all around. You can go in and just at your leisure, you can look around at all the things that are brought into the fair. And for a simple little $2 entry fee, you can get a nice ribbon with that and take it home and just display it at your home. Just to say a little bit about the things that they can bring in are jams, jellies, pickles, cookies. And I think there were some cookies here somewhere.
Yeah, Joe and I were going to actually test those out, make sure they were good.
Yeah. We already judged them. So. Yeah. And also bread, and if you want to bring candy too, that would be great too.
Absolutely.
But also we have the fine arts. We have oil and acrylic paintings, pen and ink, a pencil and charcoal sketches, just to name a few, and arts and crafts, handmade items like this little horse here. You have other things like needlecraft, needlepoint, like the doily, I guess you call that out
Yes,
there. That's
yes.
be a doily. And crocheting and quilting, and the quilt's over on the side here. And but all of these things, we just keep getting more and more each year. Now, to enter these things in the fair, you have to come on Monday, the 16th. And you need to be there between 8 a.m. and 6:30 that evening on
where are
Monday
they
the
coming?
16th. They're coming to the MPEC.
Okay.
You just come in through the MPEC to the main door, halfway down the hallway. Turn to your left, and we'll be right there, and we'll check these in for you, plus take your little entry fee. And the entry fees goes back into the funds that we raise for the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. And the Founder Lions Club is just so happy to be able to do this each year. And it's beautiful. If you're coming by and looking at some of these things, you'll see just how creative people are in this area. And the pictures, the photographs are just beautiful. You just really can't, you just got to be there to see it.
Oh. And this is just a sample of some of the great things you're going to be seeing.
Oh, also, let me add too, this year they're going to have some lectures too. They're going to talk about nutrition. They're going to talk about scrapbooks. They're going to the scrapbooks can be entered into the arts and crafts area too. But they're also going to talk about how you get involved with home skills themselves. Maybe you just don't know which one you want to get into, and so they'll talk about that. But also for a little vocal entertainment, we've lined up the embellishments are going to be there. And I know them as a barbershop quartet, but they've been working hard to come to the fair and present to us. And so they'll be singing right in this creative arts area on Thursday from 7 to 8. And so they'll be in there strolling and singing their barbershop songs. So
That's awesome. From 7 to 8 on Thursday.
7 to 8 on Thursday.
Definitely want to check that out. That
Oh,
sounds neat.
it's fun. It's fun.
Now, all of this money, because you know there's a lot of different things going on, a lot of different funds that are going to be coming in. What happens to it whenever you're done tallying it up? Because as you mentioned earlier, I do want to just quickly kind of give away a bit, but you give it back to the community.
Oh, absolutely. We have a scholarship committee that works all year long to accept scholarships from local people who want to go on to get a higher education at college. And if they stay with this program for 4 years, the total amounts up to $4,000.
Wow.
And besides that, then we have an allocations committee to which the organizations within the community must submit an application. And then the committee reviews these applications, and you might even get called on to come to the Founder Lions Club meetings where you can get a free meal, but also present about your organization and tell us what you do. So when the allocation committee sits down to look and see, well, they know a little bit more about your activity. And so throughout the year, the monies that we bring in, we have a goal of $50,000 this year. And we will give every bit of that back to the community. Our administrative funds from the club itself are handled by our dues and everything that we bring to the club. But all of this money goes back into the community.
Is that why you do this? I mean, you've been a past president, so you know you've really seen the ins and outs of the club, of course. But what drew you in personally?
Oh, I think what got me involved. See, Lions Club is the largest interactive club for socialization within the world. We extend all throughout the international community itself. And we have international conventions, which may be in Bangkok. We have in Australia. But all of the Lions come together, and we also have funds from the international community, which goes to the aid of people in tornadoes, like up in Oklahoma. They were right there with funds from the International Lions Group. And then you get down to the state and the district, and all of these funds that are come together. It's not just a few Lions here in Wichita Falls, but it's the whole international community, and it's service. Our motto is, we serve. And that's what we do.
Absolutely. And you know what? They are serving in a big way, Texoma. They're doing it all week long right here in Wichita Falls at the Impact. Make sure you head out there. Again, there's lots of different things you can take advantage of to save some cost. It all kicks off Tuesday.
I want to thank Joe Tom White for setting this up. He's been with us for many years, and he puts this all together, and without his publicity and his guidance throughout the year, we just couldn't get it together the way we do each year. So thank you, Joe Tom, and appreciate all the Lions who are participating, and it's a labor of love. It really is.
Because this is volunteer.
Yes. Yes.
We want to mention that.
Yes.
So it's a lot of work. I mean, you can go out there and see how much work. So it is definitely, again, goes back to service, which you were talking about.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Joe Tom, his catchphrase, Texoma, you know it has to be said, right?
Don't you dare miss it.
Don't you dare miss it is right. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And Texoma, thank you for joining us. As always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texoma.